Whoa, 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 whoa. So you're telling me I finished a book that wasn't a horror book? This hasn't happened since last year. Hey friends, my name is Miranda and welcome to my universe. The intro was a bit of a stretch, okay, because I definitely have read other books besides horror this year, but I just think it's funny because this is the first young adult book that I've read in a really long time, which surprises me because young adult fantasy and just young adult in general is a genre that I actually really enjoy reading. It's just that I have been on a complete Stephen King spree. It's fine. I need some balance in my life, don't I? Today I'm going to be reviewing Instant Karma by Marissa Meyer. Now, Marissa Meyer is a young adult fantasy author, but this is a contemporary book. She kind of strayed a little bit and she tried new things, and I am 100% here for it. She is one of my favorite authors. I absolutely adore her writing. And so as soon as I heard of this book, I pre-ordered it, but now, of course, I'm just getting around to reading it. Like I said before, this is a young adult contemporary novel where we follow around our main character, Prudence, who has just recently discovered that she has the ability to enact instant karma on people. So if she witnesses somebody doing something wrong, mean, hurtful, whatever, she can instantly enact instant karma and have something even worse happen to them. Kind of crazy, I know. Well, Prudence is a very good student. She is actually definitely an overachiever. She's very organized. She's also kind of a control freak, and she gets partnered in her science class with this kid, Quint. Now, Quint is the exact opposite. He's very laid back. He almost always comes to school late every single day, and he's just not very organized. He's very disheveled. And so they obviously, when they have to work on this project together, they don't get very much done. They end up getting a C on their project, and because Prudence does not like that, she convinces Quint to redo the project with her. Now, as a trade-off, Quint makes Prudence work at the rehabilitation center for marine life that his mother runs. And so we follow them as they work together and help save the seals and sea lions. And other things happen. I loved this book. I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars. I feel like I was a little generous though with that. There was a lot of things in here that I thought were very unnecessary or could have definitely been worked on better. So let's start with the cons, because around here we like ending with the pros. The first one is the big elephant in the room, her ability to enact instant karma. You know, the thing that she barely talks about in this book. I actually was debating with myself whether I even needed to describe that part of the book, because it is simply not there. It comes up every once in a while, and Prudence really tries to figure out like what's going on, like is the universe on my side, whatever, but they hardly talk about it. Hardly ever. It's not a big part of the book, which I think is kind of funny considering it's literally named after it. I actually originally thought that this story was going to revolve all around her superpower and what she will end up doing with it and everything like that, but there's none of that. And even with it being there, I figured that maybe Marissa Meyer will tie in some big life theme, like, can you really judge people based on what you see and you don't know the background story to everything? But there was nothing there. Like, this book started and ended, and we learned nothing about where this power came from, if she really even had this power to begin with, or if it was just a bunch of coincidences. None of that is touched on. And so I thought it was very random, unneeded, unnecessary. I think this book would have been totally 100% okay if that element was not seen at all. Another thing about this book is that it does drag on a little bit. It is pretty slow. If you like a lot of action, this is not the book for you. There are some chapters where literally it just goes on and it's the same exact thing. And I mean, I really liked it just because it is revolving around this romance, and I definitely thought the romance was really cute and I thought it was worth the wait. So I didn't mind that as much, but I thought I would just let you all know that it is pretty slow at times. Now let's get into the pros. There are so many of them, as always. This entire storyline, besides the instant karma part, is phenomenal. You definitely get that high school feel in this book, which I was needing considering for the past 3 months I've been reading horror. So I really liked that kind of chick flick feel that this book gave me, and I really liked the rehabilitation center, like all of the marine life that you get. You can definitely tell that Marissa Meyer did her research when she was writing this. We talk a lot about sea lions and seals and the different marine life, coastal reefs, different things like that, and I absolutely love that. I love animals, I love the ocean, so I loved the setting in this book. Just the entire plot line that revolved around Quint and his mom and their rehabilitation center that they have set up. I just was absolutely in love with it. Also, this book is most definitely an enemies to lovers trope, which if you don't know what that means, it basically means that there are two characters and they start off as enemies, and you get the gist. They're not like enemies, like this is a contemporary book. It's not like a fantasy world in which they're trying to kill each other, you know? So, I mean, it wasn't as intense as that, but it definitely is like you start off with these two characters that absolutely hate each other, and they actually learn to grow through their differences, and I was a big fan. Also, just this is Marissa Meyer's writing, okay? If you have read her fantasy novels, she definitely carries on her very whimsical, mystical voice into this one, even though it is a contemporary and doesn't have a lot of fantasy elements in it. I love her writing. She has a very unique way of just keeping everything lighthearted and fun, and I just had so much fun reading this. I couldn't put it down. I basically binge read it in 2 days. I loved it. I highly recommend this book. There are some things that she could have definitely improved, but I'm hoping she keeps writing contemporary books because it's a good look for her. All right, with all of that being said, if you have ever read Marissa Meyer or you want to read this book, haven't read this book but you want to, comment down below. Let's chit chat because I love talking about the books that I love. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you. Please be safe, make good choices, and I'll definitely see you next week. Bye.